Fzero X on the Nintendo 64. Right, enough of this tomfoolery and nonsense. Enough of this Kiddy Kong Beetle Adventure Racing stuff. We're gonna play something that's a bit more primal, I guess we'll say. This is one of my favorite racing games of all time. In fact, it might be the first racing game I've ever played that was legitimately made me say, wow, I don't hate racing games. Because, I liked, Mario Kart well enough, but, I admitted and there were some arcade racers like Rock and Roll Racing and Uniracers that I obviously love. But in the end, what I really wanted to do was to just go freaking nuts. I didn't just want to turn corners. I wanted to, play something that was just incredibly fast with a bunch of competition. And, maybe a little bit of some rubbing, some actual rubbing. I'm actually going to play this game on the medium difficulty level because I'm familiar enough with the F-Zero Jack Cub. So I'm not afraid to play that on a medium difficulty level. Yeah, Jody Summer. Well, for this track, I think for this track I'll use Jody Summer. And then for the next track, maybe I'll choose a car that has a bit higher max speed. Because remember the Dream Tracer track, it's pretty just straight ahead racing. It's all about top speed. A button to accelerate. Z button to slide left. R button to slide right. You can also do a spinning attack, I want to say, but I'm not going to do that yet. I probably should have started out the video by explaining the basics there. I just wanted to race. I didn't want to get into all this other nonsense. Okay, that wasn't a... I can bump cars, right? By double tapping Z, I can bump cars by sliding to the left or right. But yeah, those yellow boosts are there too. Yes, you can bump cars by double tapping left or right, double tapping Z or double tapping right to bump the car that's next to you. When your car turns red like that, that's how you bump cars. As I said, there are 30 cars on the track. So you're not just, this isn't pole position. You're not just running around, occasionally, you're not just turning corners, occasionally passing pace cars. You are actually dealing with crowded tracks most of the time. You actually have to attack them every now and then. And you get bonuses for attacking them sometimes. Sometimes it's worth it to actually knock them out of the race. And I forget how to do the spinning attack. I think I have to hold down the Z button and press R. I'll check. I don't think I ever win this race. I think I just get the top. I think I just reach the top 10. I'm just happy with that. Okay, I press the B button to boost. Like in River Raid, you gain energy by running over those pink recharging pads. But this game loves to distill a lot of the racing ideas. You are always trading speed for acceleration. You are always trading boost for energy. If you're willing to eat your energy, your shield, you can use your boost. But of course, if you run into the sides of the track, if you run into other cars, you're in danger of dying. And in later races, on later tracks, and harder difficulty levels, you are always at risk of dying. Like I said, this game does an exceptional job of just taking some very good track design, some very good AI, some very good, elegant concepts. Like I said, deciding, do I want a heavy car that will go faster but accelerate more slowly, that can take more damage? Do I want a car like Jody Summer's car that's a bit leaner, handles better, turns better, but isn't as good at absorbing damage? And it doesn't go as fast. Okay, this is a high-speed course. This is your first high-speed course. You want to go as fast as possible. You don't really have to worry about hitting the sides. You just need to go as fast as you possibly can. Unfortunately, on a light car like this, it's a problem. Because you might remember in Mario Kart, when you had a heavy car, you had a higher top speed. Bowser and Donkey Kong are the highest top speeds in the game. So there's my rival right there, who I think is in first place. At least first place for the circuit. So the strategy seems to be get as many of these boosters as you can and be efficient, because you want to go as fast as possible for as long as possible, because there's not a lot of subtlety to this track. I mean, there is some, but it's not a lot. Just go as fast as you can, hit all those boosts as often as you can, do not get bumped off of your fastest routes. Use boost as much as you can, and never, never, never choose a bad angle. Otherwise you'll miss a boost, or you'll wind up just losing precious seconds. I might come in first in this race. It's one of those things where it's like sometimes I never come in first when I do this track with Jody, but I'll come in 9th place. I'll come in first in every other track, but I'll only get 9th place on this track because I haven't perfected it yet. And I've done a practice mode on this track about a dozen or so times at least. Because it's a fun track to practice. You get to see, it's a fun track to practice. It's wide open. Like I said, there's not a lot of subtlety. It's very straight ahead, straightforward. And you're just trying to see how fast you can go with the car you have. And for these videos, I'm not going to do any of the snaking around, like the snake tricks. I'm not going to do any of that because I don't remember how to do it. And I also don't have the little insert that came with the game, because I own this game and it came with a manual. I don't have this version of the game with the manual. I said a family member now. So I'm not going to be able to do I'm not really going to be able to do the fancier turns, like the drift turns. I think there's another kind of turn too I forgot about. But I want to say the basic principle behind those fancy turns is, yeah, there are some 180-degree turns in this game. Apparently the only way to really hit them isn't to just use your control stick or to just use your brakes. The trick is to use drifts and power slides, things like that. There are 2 technical turns in this game that, again, I don't know how to do them both. This, I guess, this is a recommended slider, see? I was max speed for the last track. The game's recommending that I go right around here for the acceleration. I don't need much more than this. I don't need much more acceleration than this because this car accelerates fast enough as is. But if I were doing a track that had a lot of turns and not a lot of straightaways, then yeah, I'd use an acceleration. I'd lean towards acceleration. This is an example of the kind of thing that I thought the N64 did, that F-Zero X did better than, say, Gran Turismo. Because Gran Turismo had a bunch of nonsense about, gear ratios, and it had a bunch of bells and whistles that in the end didn't really matter because the game didn't have a damage model. Like basically if you wanted to hit a turn, you just kind of slammed into another car and the other car served as your moving wall. So Gran Turismo was a game that gave you a lot of ways to like accelerate and brake and determine, your highest speed. It gave you different kinds of tires, all kinds of nonsense like that. Like I said, it gave you a bunch of bells and whistles, but didn't give you a lot of meaningful choices. It drowned you. I guess it was, what do you call that? Like illusion? Not analysis by, and that wasn't analysis by paralysis. It was just an idea that the way to make a better game was to give players more options that didn't matter. So there's a difference between elegance, and that's what I'm doing here is very bad. I'm not supposed to slide around like that. So the idea was just give people more options and they'll tweak them and they'll get the impression that they're playing a game that's more complex. But I tend to believe this is a game that proves you don't have to do any of that nonsense. Just give people a simple slider. Whoops! Give people a simple slider between max speed and acceleration. Let people choose between a heavy, fast car or a slow, nimble car, and just go from there. I'm not going to come in 9th. Good. You might have seen me on a couple of those 90-degree turns. I tried to do that drift turn, which is what? Holding down the Z button and turning. So if I hold down the Z, so if I want to make a hard right turn, I hold down the Z button and make a hard, and turn the stick to the right, and I drift a little bit. It's like a power slide in Mario Kart. That's one of the technical turns. But like I said, there's another kind of technical turn that I don't know how to do, and I need to practice that. And I also don't know how to do the spinning attack. I think you hold down the Z button and double tap R to do a spinning attack and just kind of attack anyone who runs into you. But I just prefer to just do simple rubs. As you can see here, I dropped a couple of places because I only came in 8th. So I'm not going to catch up to the skull. In fact, one of the things I like about this game is that it's constantly teasing you to come in the top 3, because you have to earn it. You can never, this isn't like Mario Kart where you can just burn through every track every time if you have any skill whatsoever. It was very easy for me to do well in Mario Kart. It was even on the 100cc level, I was able to win every track in the Mushroom Cup very easily. In this game, you'll lose a lot of races, or at least you'll never come in first. You might finish in the top 5, and in a game like this, finishing in the top 5 sometimes is very satisfying because you've earned it. It's very hard to do sometimes. So finishing in the top 10 sometimes feels like coming in first because the game makes you earn it that much. Which is one of the things I like about having 30 racers, and half of them are actually a challenge. You know, they really do jostle for positioning. You have to actually play well and not take too much damage from them if you want to finish high. So I don't mind losing a lot of races. I don't mind coming in 10th place and 9th place and 8th place in a game like this. Because I know I can do better, but you still get the satisfaction of knowing that you have to play well to rank high. Now I'm going to use my boost. Okay, so when I hit the next, I'm going to do the Z button. You see, that was my drift turn right there. It wasn't a great turn. But I can boost out of the turn when I get to the other side of it, so it might be okay. But again, once I practice the power sliding and get better at it, then it just makes them see like that. Yeah, see, I cheated a bit right there. I used another guy as a wall, as a moving wall on that turn. That's one way you can cut inside on these guys. But this game does not encourage too much rubbing because there is a damage model and it's pretty severe on some cars. So you don't want to go too nuts with that. Yeah, I did it. I think I held down Z and tapped R, and that did the spin. I'm in 3rd place. Wow. I wasn't going to come in first, but I think I did a lot better than I expected on that track. So again, you know you can do better next time. Even though you do well, you know you can do better, and you know that if you did this well, that you earned it. Again, I do a lot of racing games, and it feels like I can, you know, crash into every sidewall and miss every turn and just play suboptimally the entire way and still come in second. This game makes you earn it most of the time. That's always one of the things I loved about it. Maybe it's rubber banding AI that keeps it challenging. You know, obviously Mario Kart is rubber banding AI. Last track in the Fzero Jack Cup. I'll probably do a death race at the end of this video just to fill time, because those things take forever, but I get to practice some of my moves, some of my attacking moves. I'm not a big fan of the death race, even though conceptually it sounds like a lot of fun, but I don't know if this game was really made for that kind of thing. Whoop! Okay, this is one of my favorite tracks right here. You got the outside of a corkscrew, and your job is to figure out the most optimal path, which ideally means staying on one side, because if you swerve around, if you move around too much on this corkscrew, you're losing time. I don't think I've ever won this race, but these colored lines right there down the middle determine your bearings. Whoops! I don't know if I ever did that right. I think I might have been upside down, but the game writes you soon enough. Whoop! See, that was one of those S turns where I needed to use a technical turn to get past it. Now I got my boost, but I need energy. So where do I get my energy? Whoops! Okay. And that blue mesh down there at the bottom is that's how you know you're going in the right direction. Okay, I'm missing all the yellow things. Where are the yellow things? There's some boosts here that I missed. But again, one of the worst things you can do on this part of the track, apparently, is to hit one of those yellow boost bars and wind up. Okay, there we go. So were the boost bars on the bottom of the track? That explains it. One of the worst things you can do is hit that boost and wind up going sideways. Okay, I'm fine. I only hit one sidewall there. And this is the Big Blue music, of course. The rock version of the Big Blue music. Which I think was in, obviously it was in the original F-Zero. I want to say it was also in Smash Brothers. Did I miss that? Okay, it must be on the other side. Eventually you learn where all the, what you call it, are. You can leave this track, by the way. It's magnetic, but if you go too fast, if you turn and go too fast, you can miss the track. You can leave the track. Here it comes, the F-turn. Okay, good enough. I'm probably gonna come in 10th. No, I won't. Wow, just passed him to come in 12th. Like I said, I had to earn that, because I did not play that tube very well. Again, with practice, you learn where the boost pads are, and you learn the optimal path, you know. What side of that green line should I be on? I don't know, I'll find out later. So I think I'm going to come in 8th for the circuit, right? Something like that. I came in 6th, wow. So who dropped? No one really dropped. Kate Allen. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that F-Zero animated series with the bodyguard. In fact, who was her bodyguard in that series, in that episode? It was that fat white, yeah, Mr. EAD, yeah, he was the bodyguard. He was the Kevin Costner role in that bodyguard ripoff story. God, what a stupid story. Okay, apparently the Skull won every race. He came in first in every stupid race. So I guess he was the rival. But again, you gotta earn it. He was programmed to win. No, wait. One more track. The game wants me to use max speed here. I guess I'll use acceleration. I'll give myself a little more acceleration here. I don't remember this track very well, actually. Let's see if it comes back to me. And there's no map. There's no track map, so you just have to memorize it. But again, the draw distance is pretty reasonable. Whoops. Crap, I always forget that part. The draw distance is pretty reasonable, and of course, so despite the speed, you're always able to keep up, or almost always. Oh, that's the ice, that's the ice. Yeah, now it's starting to come back to me now. Okay, I need energy. This is ridiculous. That's a narrow, see again, with the narrow track, that becomes a problem. Don't fall off the track. Yeah, see, you could have gone over the track if you didn't land in the right spot. Okay, now I got some energy. I lost the boost, but I got that energy I needed. So if you're willing to avoid all that, you can take the boost down the middle of the track if you don't need the energy. Again, it's a meaningful choice the game makes you take. Okay, hit 2, 3, hit 3 of those. It's not great. Here's a 90-degree turn. Whoops, that was not a good 90-degree turn. Yeah, that was not a good 90-degree turn. Not good. Okay, that was not good. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be tight. Let me go down a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go down early, yeah. Soft landing, that's good. I went down so I wouldn't stay in the air too long. Missed the boost. But I'm in 15th place, from 14th place. So I went up 7 places in one little straightaway. Not complaining about that. Sometimes they do cluster together, so just keep that in mind. You're not always doing as badly as you think you are, because racers are sometimes clustered together. This game is definitely a cluster, I'll tell you that right now. That was a pretty nice Z turn I did there. Watch my back, he said. Soft landing. I'm gonna die, right? Okay, let me get that. Get the boost. Get that. 13th, 12th, 10th, 11th. Okay, not 10th. If I hit the boost, I might have gotten 10th. I don't know. So I guess I dropped back into 7th place now. Most likely. Yeah, I was 4 seconds behind the Skull. Beastman almost caught up to him. But yeah, looks like Skull wins again as we got the 600. So I'm still in 6th. So it looks like I'm going to stay ahead of Roger Buster. I think that's the last track, right? 6 wasn't too bad for the medium difficulty level. It really wasn't. So again, like I said, I didn't win a single race. Standard difficulty. I didn't win a single race, but I felt as though I performed better than I expected. And I had to earn my position by beating a lot of cars on straightaways and eventually making tight turns that I knew I'd eventually have to do. That was not too bad. That was not too shabby. I know I can do better. The game will be waiting for me when I'm ready. So again, unlike Fzero on the Super NES, which I have a couple of videos of that. I mean, 60 FPS, mode 7, blah, blah, blah. It just felt like a tech demo to me. Like, there were no weapons you could pick up. There was, there were only 4 cars on the track, really. The AI was kind of like, there were a bunch of pace cars there for the most part. The jumping puzzles were okay. Some of the tight turns were okay. But again, it just felt like a tech demo. It was too basic a racing game to me. It was literally a game that was just about turning corners and occasionally looking for boosts, and that was it. I guess I wanted a racing game with more meat on its bones. And with better track design. And with better AI. And this is pretty much what I wanted. I guess I got the impression that Nintendo was just kind of getting out all their frustration over the days of the Super NES with the blast processing and the Genesis just killing them. I guess they figured that, you know what, screw this. We're just gonna make a straight ahead racing game. We do not give a crap. We do not give a crap. We're gonna stick. I mean, Sega was still in the business, obviously. We're just gonna stick it to Sega. Screw this. Okay, hold down Z, press R. Hold down Z, double tap R. Yeah. So you hold down Z and double tap R to do that spinning attack. Can I hold down R and double tap Z? Yeah, if you hold down R and double tap Z, you do the same spin. Now the question, there are no turns in this track. Okay, so I can boost to catch up to the other cars. I just don't know where they are. And once I get close enough, then I can bump them. Okay, I got one. So I got that star. I don't know what the star does, but I got the star. Now I got him in a crowd. So I can do the spin attack. Take out a bunch of them. Yes, if I get in front of a crowd, then I can take out a bunch of them. So when you see that little check thing behind me, that means there's someone behind me and I can probably do the spin attack to take them out. Or not, because my aim sucks. Nope, probably should have just bumped him. I can knock him off the track. I can knock him off the track right there, too, by the way. Yep, got another one. So those stars mean how many cars I've taken out. Oops! Screwed that up royally. So I need some energy now. Don't fall off the track. Yep, got him. So I got him with an little nudge there. Got another one. Like I said, it takes a while. This is just filler for the end of the video. I need to take out the small cars first, then take out the big cars. Yeah, I think someone else took him out. Whoop! Don't fall off, don't fall off. I think I hit somebody there. Whoop! Miss, 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 miss. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that green car is one of the bigger ones, right? Samurai Goro? That one's one of the bigger ones. Got him! Okay, it's another nudge. Yeah, it's the red arrow right there. She should be pretty easy to take. Or that miss arrow? Yeah, it's miss arrow in that little sleek red car over there. She should be easy to take out. There we go, another one down. So I'm in first place, apparently. So let me slow down a bit and use my spinning attack. By using my spinning attack. I hit my brakes. Yeah, I hit my brakes there. So I hit C up. I hit the C up button to look her behind me, so that probably helped. So let me slow down a bit. Okay, so the C right button lets me lets me change the view. I don't know if that's the better view though. Yeah, I want to be able to look ahead of me, not behind me. Okay, here we go. Whoops, missed. Another hit. Okay, so they're getting their energy back. I probably don't want to let them do that. I don't even know who has the least amount of energy. That's the other problem. Yep, I bumped into the wall. See, after all that energy you got, I bumped them. I don't think those nudges do that much damage, but something. Okay, another batch. Yeah, they kind of swerved around me there. Yep, there goes another one. Another one bites the dust. So like I said, this takes a bit. This takes a while, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. At least I got to practice. Now, how do I practice my S turns and my snaking is the question. How do I practice my snaking? That's the real question. Got him. I almost missed that jump. I hit the wrong button. Okay, he's coming up behind me. Yeah, he swerved around me. Let me get that red car to finish off the video. She's pretty easy to get. She's got a weak body. Despite being buff and all, like she is, but she's got a weak body. Whoops, at least her car is weak. Well, that's the end of the game. So you got to see that. Yep, retire. So like I said, these death matches take a while. But if you really know what you're doing, you can get it under 5 minutes, I'm certain. Get them all out in less than 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, enough of this. Alright, so in conclusion, actually, we're nowhere near the conclusion. We're going to come back and play this game later. This game is awesome.